Welcome back, y'all, and happy Wednesday. This is day 3 of spring practice in 2025 for our Tennessee Volunteers. Please make sure to like and subscribe to the channel. And this is our first day in shells, which is shoulder pads and helmets. No leg pads just yet, but that might come on Friday. If it doesn't come on Friday, it will come at the start of next week. So we can expect, obviously, that practice is going to be a lot more physical. It's turning into real football, so we can get a better gauge on all these players. But we can also expect, with this being our first day with shoulder pads on, that we're going to miss some passes. Guys are going to have some drops and things like that. But outside of that, I don't think that it was an like abnormal day for any of the targets with the quarterbacks, for any of the drops with the wide receivers. Very, very normal. And I think that we're looking pretty good. So let's talk about Mike Matthews, who obviously he's been very consistent. His routes look crisp. His hands look good. I also like that ball placement. For me, I used to love, whenever the passes were a little bit off of my body. Right there, we see Jefferson dropping a pass from Nico. But again, that's normal. Travis Smith, or I'm sorry, that's not Travis Smith. That's actually Mike Matthews. That was a drop by him. The pass is a little bit to the outside, but you expect for him to make those catches. I think that Braylon Staley, that route looked really good on that curl. Looks really good getting in and out of his breaks, good hands. He's very smooth and fluid. And right there, we've got Ethan Davis also with the drop. So it's normal. It's nothing for us to be concerned about. Here we have Chris Brazzell. Now he's making catches. So that's the thing about maybe being a veteran. Sometimes, as soon as those pads come on, you might be, a little bit more ready than some of these other players that, haven't played as much football. That's just how that thing goes. But I'm very excited, obviously, to see Chris Brazzell making some catches because we're going to need him this season. I also think that Travis Smith looks really good. So he's a guy that we can look out for. Cole Harrison, he's looked consistent. Our quarterbacks, they're looking good. The ball placement is definitely not bad. I think that might be Ra Jackson. Might not be, but either way, I'm excited to see what he does. He's a guy with a lot of length, and it sounds like he's been running really good routes. He's a guy that can make you miss after the catch, too. So all the scholarship players that we have at wide receiver, they're going to be just fine. And, I think that we're kind of seeing that as we're going through some of these clips. Right there, we have Braylon Harmon. And Braylon Harmon, he's a walk-on guy, but I've liked his routes. Really, with all the walk-on guys playing at wide receiver, I've liked how their routes have looked for the most part. And obviously, we have guys like Dayton Sneed that we've seen play some, and he's looked really good. So he could maybe give us a little bit more depth than, what we were talking about before with just the scholarship bodies. But, yeah, I'm very, very excited about this season. Now we have Amari Jefferson. I think that he looked pretty good getting out of his break right there. Definitely looks like he's, maybe getting a little bit more acclimated to running around, moving around, things like that. Now we've got our offensive linemen working on getting up to the second level. And this is a place that I think Tennessee is going to take a big step forward. Everybody just looks so well put together. David Sanders, and this might sound crazy to y'all, but I think that he's gained some weight even since that previous practice. And, he's going to put in all the work necessary. His form right here is absolutely textbook. He's going up against that big old heavy sled. I think that sled is like 200 or 300 pounds. It might be more than that, but it's a really heavy sled, and he's moving it with ease. You also have to stay low. That sled is all about form and technique and things like that. And now, right here, man, we've got two guys that are going, and that's Wendell Moore, and it's also Bennett Warren. So Wendell Moore will be playing at left guard. We've got Bennett Warren working at left tackle. But they both look great, right? Just look at the body composition, especially look at Trevor Duncan. You want to talk about a prototype tackle? He is literally, that's what a prototype tackle looks like. He is a perfectly built. But also think that Gage Ginther, he looks good playing at guard. He's a guy that we say coming out of high school, he could play guard, he could play tackle. So he's got the foot speed that you would want. I would say maybe not as much as a tackle on this level, but it's close enough that his pass pro as a guard should be really, really strong. We're seeing him working on the left side. Now we have William Satterwhite. He's working with Jesse Perry. Jesse Perry's been working a lot at right guard so far, but he's probably going to work at a lot of different places. I'm a little bit concerned, though. I don't want him to, have to move around too much just because I want him to be able to, get things going. So right here, this is important. We're seeing our running backs blocking versus some blitzing linebackers. And I think that was a rep that was won by Hunter Barnes. That looked really, really good. Right here, we have Andre Turntine. This is just getting off of a block, shedding, and then going and making a tackle. And I'll also say this. I feel like Tennessee's, practice, just with the spring practice stuff, it looks a little bit more intense than some of the other spring practices that I've seen. That's a good sign. That's where you want to be. Now we've got Bishop in the same blocking drill that we're talking about with the running backs versus Edris Farouk. All of our running backs are looking good in pass pro. That's so important. Now we're going to do a whole lot of form tackling stuff. Like we said, it's going to be a lot more physical. So seeing guys like Dylan Lewis, the way that he's looking physical, that's great. I think that Steel Katina, Dude, that is like an all-time name list. You know what I'm saying? He's got to be on the all-time names list for sure. And now we have Ricky Gibson doing a little bit of, rap and roll. Obviously, for those secondary players, it's going to be so important that your form, you got to get low and you got to roll. Now we're working on press. I love this because we're going to see cornerbacks doing it. We're going to see safeties doing it. You got to be able to come up to the line of scrimmage and work those fundamentals within our press game, because sometimes everyone is going to be asked to do some pressing within our secondary. And I think that we did a pretty solid job with that last season, but it's a place that we could definitely, I think, get a little bit better, again, especially with those safeties. But here, man, we got the quarterbacks throwing the football on a swing route to the running backs. And that's my dog right there, Justin Baker. He looks good. He's rocked up. He's solid getting up the field. Here's Star Thomas. This is our first time seeing him. He looks good too. Now, this running back room, I've kind of touched on it. It's a lot deeper than we thought, but that's going to be it for this one today. But we'll be coming to you very shortly with our live stream, giving our overall thoughts on the third day of spring practice. Please do make sure to like and subscribe to the channel, and we'll see y'all in just a minute. Thanks. Peace.